We can get started on this. Let me make sure that we are streaming, and we are. Okay, so we're going to be talking today about some different kinds of lines. Okay, so and some angles that are created by different kinds of lines. Now we're going to start with if you have a box. Let me see. I've got a box right here. I've got this box, right? Can y'all see my box? And I have the top and the bottom of the box. How would you describe the lines or the planes that are the top and the bottom of the box? They're parallel to each other, aren't they? They're never going to cross. They're parallel, right? How would you describe the plane that makes the top of the box and the side of the box? How would you describe that? Yes, but don't be so specific. What do? They touch. What's that called when things touch? What do we call it in math? Intersecting. So they intersect at a line. They intersect at a line. Two planes intersect at a line. Y'all with me? Okay, so this plane intersects with that plane. This plane intersects with that plane. This plane intersects with that plane. And this plane intersects with that plane. Do these two planes intersect? No. What are they? Parallel. Okay. Now, if you look at plane DEH on your paper, plane DEH. Y'all see that plane? I'm going to have an issue. Hang on. If you were describing that plane, what side would you say that plane's on that box? You would call it the left side, right? This side over here, left side. If you're not good with left and right, I'm not. If you hold your fingers up like this, the one that makes the L, that's left. I have to do that every time someone tells me left and right.
I'll do this. Like they'll say that I know my left and right. I'll do this and still have a right and L.
To see what it looks like? Mm-hmm.
I write it every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Even though you start with an L, huh? Okay, so it's that side of the box, right? And if I'm asking for planes that are parallel to that side of the box, what plane would be parallel to that side of the box? This plane over here. Now let's talk about how we name it. So to name that plane, we need 3 letters. Pick 3 letters. BFG. Does that work? Could we name that plane BFG? So we could name it. Where's my pencil? There we go. Plane BFG. That's this guy right here, right? Right there. Is that the only name it could have? No. What else could we call it? We could call it BCG because B, C, and G are on there. What else could we call it? CGF, right? So all of those names work. Okay? For that plane right there, that's parallel to that plane right there. Okay, I've got to do something because I need to be able to write on this, but there's a lot going on. I need to be able to erase it. So y'all give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I just got to get set up here. I've got to use this same diagram over and over. And last hour I just wrote on the BenQ, but since I'm videoing, I need to write it here instead of on the BenQ because you can't see what I write on the BenQ on the computer. Okay. Now, let's talk about segments that are parallel to each other. So we've got AB here. We've got AB right here. What segments are parallel to AB?
Yeah.
So EF is parallel, so we're going to write that one. EF, right? What else? DC. DC is parallel, right? And then HG back here. HG. My hand and my brain are not connecting today. I am saying things and writing completely different things for some reason. What?
What's your favorite boss?
It's It's a page protector, and I'm using it so I can erase. Yeah, I don't think they make those in a matte version, or I would go buy one. And this is the closest to matte as I can get. Okay. Whatever the extra stuff is that's going on today really is going to have to stop. Y'all about to drive me crazy. Whatever that is. I don't know what it is, but there's a whole lot of extra noise that's not normally in here. Y'all driving me nuts. Do you hear it? This extra noise? Okay. Let's talk about GH. So GH was one of the ones we were just talking about. GH right there. And let's talk about the lines that intersect GH. So what crosses GH? EH does. Y'all see that guy right there? So EH, segment EH. What else? FG, this one right here, it crosses it, right? FG. And then CG does. This one, CG. And then this one does DH. Good job, you guys. So those all intersect. They all intersect with GH, right? Okay. Now, so we've talked about intersecting and we've talked about parallel, and those are all things that you know about. But we're about to talk about some lines that don't do either one of those things. So if we are discussing GH and we say everything that's parallel to that, we've got AB, EF, CD. Those are all parallel, right? And then if we say the intersecting, we have HG, EG, HD, and GC, right? Does BF intersect GH? No. Is it parallel?
Yes.
HG and
No.
and BF.
I think so. Yeah.
BF, right? And that one right there. Are they HD? Are they parallel?
No.
No. Do they intersect?
No.
No. So they're not parallel, right? Because one of them's like this and one of them's like this. Correct? So they're not parallel, but are they ever going to cross each other? No. This is a new kind of line you have not heard of yet. These are called skew lines. So skew lines are in three-dimensional space, and they are lines that are not parallel to each other, but they are not going to intersect. So they're on two different planes, going two different directions. Do y'all see? Now it's only in three-dimensional space. Only in three-dimensional space. Not in two-dimensional space. In two-dimensional space, like on a coordinate plane, they're either parallel or they intersect. But in three-dimensional space, we have these lines that are not parallel, but also do not intersect. And so if we're talking about lines that are skew to HG, so BF would be one, right? What else? EA, this one right here, right? EA, it's in the game. Okay, what else? AD. Is that FIFA? Madden? I know, but which games is it that say that? Is FIFA and Madden? Those are two that are played or used to be played in my house all the time. I've heard that so many times. That EA Sports is in the game. Like so many times. No Fortnite. And then y'all see BC right there? So BC is also one.
All we found was a skew to CD.
Skew to HG. But skew to HG. So they don't cross HG, but they're not parallel to HG. Yeah, I know number 4 says CD, but I picked HG, and that's what we went with. So those are skewed to HG. So now let's do the ones that are skewed to CD, okay? So, because that's the question on number 4. Skew to CD. So I'm going to mark CD with green. And then let's mark everything that's parallel to CD with green also. So AB's parallel. EF is parallel. HG is parallel. Now let's mark everything that is intersecting to CD.
AC.
BC. AD. DH. And HG, okay? Now, everything that's left is skew. Because everything that's not parallel and not intersecting are skew lines. So that means AE, BF, FG, and EH. So if we were writing this as our answer, we would write EA, BF, EH, FG. Right? Okay, so those are skewed to those. Y'all with me? Okay. Thank y'all so much. All right, now, that's skew lines. You need to make sure you have a note in your notes about skew lines. That's pretty important, don't you think? Knowing what skew lines are. I love the word skew. I just think it's such a cool word. Okay, next we're going to talk about... I'm going to pull this away for a minute, and I'm going to just do some drawing. On your paper, you need to make 2 lines that go in the same general direction, but they don't have to be parallel to each other. Okay? And then you're going to make 1 line that goes across those 2 lines, creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles. Okay? So it should look about like this. Now these lines should be straight, but I'm not going to bother with a ruler right now. This is your notes. This is notes. So today we're going to talk about some angle relationships when you have lines that are crossed by 1 line that create these angle pairs. The ones we're talking about today, because these 2 lines are not parallel to each other, these angles here and these angles here do not have a direct relationship to each other. Like one's not going to be congruent to something down here because these lines are going at different angles. tomorrow, no, the next day, Monday, we're gonna talk about parallel lines. If these lines were parallel, how that changes things. But today we're going to talk about their relationships and what we call these different angle pairs. Now, you know some of the relationships that are on there right now. Can you name one? Like angle 1 and angle 4.
They're vertical angles.
They are vertical angles. And what do you know about vertical angles? They are equal. So angle 1 and angle 4 would be congruent, right? Okay. What about angle 1 and angle 2?
No, they're all supplementary.
They are supplementary. What do we call them? Starts with an L.
Linear pair.
Linear pair. That's called a linear pair. What about 1 and 3?
No, they're linear pairs too.
They're a linear pair too.
Oh, that's what you
Yeah. What about 2 and 3?
They're vertical.
They are vertical, right? So you know the relationships among those. And these guys have that same kind of relationship down here. What's 5 and 8? Vertical angles. What's 6 and 8?
Linear pairs.
Linear pairs. They're supplementary, right? Y'all with me? Okay. Now, however, what we're going to be talking about is the relationship between these angles and these angles. Now, for today, that's not going to be a numerical relationship. That's just going to be a where they're at sort of relationship. Okay? I want you to think of these two lines as creating a boundary. Now, you can either be inside the boundary or you can be outside the boundary. All right? So, what angles are inside this boundary?
4 and 3, 5.
So, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all inside, right? What's a word? What's a word we use for inside? Interior. So we're going to call these angles interior angles because they're inside those two lines. What do you think we're going to call the ones that are not inside?
Exterior.
Exterior. So when we talk about these angle pairs, we're either going to say, well, they're interior or they're exterior. If they're not either, like if one's interior and one's exterior, they don't have that relationship, okay? Then we're also going to talk about where they are in relation to this line. Now, this line has a name. When you have a line crossing other lines like this does, this is called a transversal. Now, all transversal means is a line crossing other lines. Have you ever heard the transverse? You ever heard that word used before? Someone transversed the earth, or they transversed the Sahara Desert, or it just means goes across. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. You're thinking transgender. It doesn't mean opposite gender. It means that they are going across to the other gender. That's what it means, going across.
That's how I thought of that. What was the transient? That's how I thought of that one. I was like,
Transgender. Do you know what a We're just going to leave this line of thinking, okay? Okay. Now, that transversal, you have angles that are on the same side of the transversal, and you have angles that are on the opposite side of the transversal. Like 1 and 3 are on the same side, but they are a linear pair, so that's their relationship. But 1 and 5 are on the same side. 1 and 7 are on the same side. Y'all see what I'm saying? 1 and 4 are not on the same side. Now, they are vertical, but what about 1 and 6? No, so we say that they are on alternate sides. So we either call them same side. Let me write this down so everybody can see it. We either say they are on the same side or consecutive side. So we say same side. Also use the word consecutive for this. Consecutive. Okay. Both words are used interchangeably. So we're going to use both of them in class. Sometimes we'll say same side, sometimes we'll say consecutive, okay? Because you will see both out in the wild. Okay? And then we have the ones that are alternate. Alternate means, what's alternate mean? Different, right? Opposite sides. Now, when we name these angle pairs, we first tell whether they're alternate or same side. Then we say if they're interior or exterior. I know that sounds confusing, but we're about to do some, okay? We're going to start with same side or consecutive. Remember, it's same side or consecutive. Same side interior angles. So same side interior. That means they are on the same side of the transversal, but inside those parallel lines. Can you name a pair that are on the same side as the transversal, but inside the parallel lines? 3 and 5. Y'all see how 3 and 5 meet that criteria? See how they're inside those two lines, but they're on the same side of that transversal? So angle 3 and angle 5 are same side interior. Are they the only ones that are same side interior? 4 and 6 are also same side interior. So those are angle pairs that have this relationship to each other. Okay? All right. So we did same side interior. What about same side, or what's the other word for it? Well, we're going to do exterior, yes, but what's the other word for same side? Consecutive. So same side or consecutive exterior. So what angle pairs would be same side exterior? Angle 1 and angle 7. Y'all see how they're outside those two lines, but they're on the same side of the transversal? So angle 1 and angle 7. What else? 2 and 8. You'll see how 2 and 8 meet that criteria? Angle 2 and angle 8. Okay, so we've done same side interior. We've done same side exterior. Next, we're going to look at alternate interior. Alternate interior. So they're on the inside of the two lines, but opposite sides of the transversal. What we got? 6 and 3. You'll see how 6 is on one side and 3 is on the other, but they're inside those lines. So angle 3 and angle 6. What else? 4 and 5. You'll see it? Angle 4 and angle 5. Y'all see how they're inside, but they're on opposite sides of the thing? Everybody with me? Y'all with me? Y'all got real quiet all of a sudden.
No, we're good. We're just taking notes.
Okay. All right, and then we've got alternate exterior. Alternate exterior. So the alternate means opposite sides of that line. Exterior means outside those two other lines. So name a pair that's alternate and exterior. Angle 2 and angle 7. Good, Amari. What else? Angle 1 and angle 8. Good, all the people that said that, because I know there was more than one. I know for sure I heard Esteban. You said it, Romero. Amari, I'm pretty sure. Lance, did you say it? Nope, you weren't talking this time? Okay. Lots of people said it. Okay. Y'all get those? We've got one more angle pair relationship we're going to talk about. One more. This is the last one. Last one. One more angle pair relationship. Yeah. Did he pause? I thought maybe I just couldn't hear him. I thought maybe I just couldn't. I thought he said my name and I just couldn't hear him. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Okay. All right. Look at angle 1 and angle 5. Y'all see angle 1 and angle 5? Tell me what you notice about them. Whoa. Who said what? What? Corresponding. How did you know that? Okay, so angle 1 and angle 5 are called corresponding angles. So they are called corresponding angles. That just means they're in the same location on the two lines. That's amazing that you guessed the right word. Angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. They're in the same location. Now, when we talk about parallel lines, they're going to be congruent. These are not. 2 and 6 are corresponding too. Yes. And 4 and 8. And 4 and 8. Angle 4 and angle 8. And 3 and 7. Very good, you guys. Very good. Y'all picked up on that fast. Okay. Now that we have the understanding or the words to use, we're going to go back to our worksheet. All right?
I got a question about this.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you said some of them are going to be interior and some of them are going to be exterior.
Uh-huh.
All right. So if you just take like the first two lines, like B and C, 1 and 8 will be exterior, but once you add D, wouldn't that be interior?
Okay, so it's a great question. It has to do with what angles you're looking at. So if you're looking at angle 1 and angle 8, right, then this line D doesn't have anything to do with angle 1 and angle 8. So you don't use that line D to describe angle 1 and 8. You just use the lines that they are connected to. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so let's go over like angle 4 and angle 5. Y'all see 4 and 5? Those should be pretty simple.
No, I was singing a song in my head. I wasn't listening. Say it.
I'm going to say it again in a minute.
Okay.
Wait till we get there, okay? Because Lance jumped the gun a little bit. Okay, so 4. I'm glad you were thinking. I'm just saying you got me a little off. 4 and 5. Y'all see 4 and 5? Okay. See how 4 and 5. This is the transversal, right? And then this angle, this line makes 4, and this line makes 5. That line D down there has nothing to do with those two angles. We don't use line D to describe these two angles. We only use B and C. So if we're using B and C to describe those two angles, what do we call angle 4 and angle 5? Are they on the same side or alternate sides? Same side? Interior. Because they're inside that B and C. Y'all see? Doesn't matter that they're not inside D. I mean, that doesn't make any difference. All right? Okay, so number 5, your answer would be same side interior. I'm going to abbreviate. Same side interior for number 5. Okay? So number 6 is 5 and 11. So let's go back over here and do 5 and do 11. Now, here's the transversal. This is going to be the transversal every time on these, but that's the transversal. What line makes 5? C. What line makes 11? D. So those are the lines we're looking at. This B, nah, It ain't got nothing on this. It has nothing to do with these relationships. So if you're looking at the transversal, are they same side or alternate? They're alternate, right? So they're going to be alternate. And then are they inside or outside? Outside, so that makes it exterior. Alternate exterior. Y'all see it? Everybody see it? Okay. What about 4 and 6? 4 and 6. Here's 4. Here's 4. Here's 6, right? So here's the transversal we're looking at. Here's the B. Here's the C. What are 4 and 6 to those lines? Alternate. Alternate interior. Yes, alternate. Alternate interior. That's what they would be. Alternate interior. Okay. 7 and 9. Here's 7. Here's 9. Alternate interior to what? So we've got C and D, right? C and D, and then there's our A. So they're alternate interior. Y'all see how you don't pay attention to that other line? You just ignore that other line? Okay, what about 2 and 8?
Alternate exterior.
Yes. 2 and 8 are alternate exterior. That's 2 and 8. Alternate exterior. Okay. What about 3 and 6?
They're
Consecutive or same side interior. Yes. Consecutive or same side interior. So we can say same side interior. Right? Same side interior. Okay, what about 11?
corresponding.
1 and 9. Let's look at 1 and 9. 1 and 9. They are corresponding. Good job, Lance. Does everybody see why they're corresponding?
Yes.
Good job. Go you. Okay. I think y'all got this. So we're going to jump down because we're running out of time. We only have 5 minutes left. So we're going to jump down here and look at this. We're doing the exact same thing down here. Where is the dang diagram? We're doing the same thing, but they've thrown in an extra line, and sometimes that messes with our brain. You just have to do the same thing we were just doing. Isolate the lines you're discussing. So if we look at number 15, 4 and 10. So here's 4, here's 10. What line touches both of them? G. That's your transversal. What other lines are used to make 4 and 10? J and K. That other line H over there, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It's just like over there. It's irrelevant. Thank you. I could not think of that word. It's irrelevant. So if you're looking at 4 and 10, they are alternate because they're on opposite sides of that transversal. And they're interior because they're inside these two lines right here. Inside. Alternate interior. So they would be alternate interior. Right? Okay, what about 16? 2 and 12. 2 and 12.
15 we put G and then alternate exterior.
You would just put alternate exterior. Or whatever it was. What was it? Alternate interior. 2 and 12.
Alternate exterior.
So let's identify our transversal. What's our transversal? G. Amari, because I think I've confused you, so I want to make sure I get this clear. The identifying the transversal and the lines is just so we can figure out what the relationship is. You don't have to write that down. That's just to figure it out, okay? Okay, so that's our transversal because that's what crosses both of them. What other lines are we dealing with? J and K. That's what makes the angles, right? So, what side of G are these on? Are they alternate or are they same side? Alternate. Are they inside or outside? Outside, J and K. So it's alternate exterior. Y'all see? Okay. What about 7 and 3? 7 and 3 are corresponding? Let's check it out. So we've got 7 and we've got 3. What's their transversal? J. So new transversal this time. And then what are the angles that make them? H. H and G. G and H. We can say it either way. So they're on the same side, but one's inside, one's outside, right? When you're on the same side, one's inside, one's outside, those are corresponding, right? Okay, I think y'all have got this. Y'all think y'all got this? All right, we're going to do this in class tomorrow. You do not have to do it on your own. What? Then you need to do it on your own. I will have a interactive worksheet on Google Classroom by tomorrow morning. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, sir. Why don't you have a combo? Okay, I can give you paper. Which ones do you need? Do you know? Yes, sir. I will do grades right up until the last day.
My question is,
I know, I don't do that. I do grades right up until the last day. 2.1. Okay, what else? 2.3. Hang on, I'm looking for 2.3. .4. Okay, I've got 2.1 and 2.4. I got 2.7. Oh, I got 2.3 too. 1.7. I may have to make you a copy of 1.7. Yes, sir.
Since like we're doing it tomorrow,
Yeah.
is it okay if we do it
On your own?
Or do you want us to do it?
No, you can do it on your own. I won't have the interactive worksheet up until later. I mean, maybe tomorrow. Okay, 1.7 I think is the only one I'm missing for you, okay? So I'll probably have to just make a copy because I don't see a 1.7 here anywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Amari, don't let me forget.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye. You too. Y'all have a great day. So, if you're still watching this, I almost forgot to stop the video. I went outside into the hallway and then remembered, oops, still streaming. So here we go. I hope y'all have a really great day today.